Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my tropical outlook and discussion. We're going to be looking at the models like the CFSs, Wind Shear for the next 6 weeks, the concepts model. We're going to be looking at the, like what the concept is showing for the Wind Shear for the next few months. And we're also going to be looking at the sea surface temperature anomalies. So let's start with the CFS. So as you can see, it's pretty unfavorable like wind shear in like the main development region. But as we go on, as you can see, interestingly, as we go on towards the 672 hours away, wind shear is starting to slacken off a lot. And as we go on even more here, it's like starting to slacken off even more. Like as we go towards the end of May, some of the Gulf is in neutral conditions, and as we go on even further, it starts to get even more favourable. So, but like it doesn't look favourable like for the Cape Verde storms, because like there's quite a lot of wind shear like in the main development region. So I think if this was to come off, the lesser Antilles won't have to really worry about it, and some of the Caribbean won't have to worry. But maybe if you're in the Florida Straits and then in the Gulf of Mexico, and like even where like Michael formed around here, just off the Yucatan Peninsula, if it was to form here, like how Michael did, if this like wants to come off the wind shear like will be pretty low to average. So we're gonna have to watch out to see how that develops. And if we look at the concepts for the next like 11 to 12 months here, but we're just going to look at the main ones for the hurricane season. So obviously it's extremely unfavorable here for the main like tropical Atlantic here, just really high wind shear. But as we go on further, it starts to slacken up even more towards the tropical Atlantic, and even the Gulf is like starting to become more favorable. And as we go on into October, the Gulf of Mexico is really favorable. Like the wind shear is really low, it looks like. So if this was to come off, we could see Gulf of Mexico type storms. We could see storms coming in towards the Florida Straits, the Northern Antilles. So that's pretty that's pretty interesting if you were to ask me. And if we look at this one, oh no, like cause like that's all we're on. But yeah, it just looks pretty interesting, yeah. And then November, the most of the tropical Atlantic gets pretty favourable, and then as we go on into March, it becomes more unfavourable. So like this is March 2020, but we don't need to worry about that too much. So basically, most of the models I showed the wind shear for the next few months are going to start to slacken off. And it looks like on like both of the models there, it showed that the Gulf of Mexico is going to have pretty favourable conditions in the next few weeks to months. So we could have like Gulf of Mexico storms coming off the Yucatan Peninsula towards the southern and western Caribbean, then forming up towards the Florida Straits as well. Sorry about that. And if we look at the 7-day average change for the sea surface temperatures, the main tropical Atlantic is slightly below average, but towards the eastern coast of Africa, it is like mostly above average, especially across the Cape Verde areas. But there is a lot of cold spots with them, but then there's also some cold spots as well. But there is signs for the next month or two they could start to warm up a lot and become above average. So we're gonna have to see what that's like what happens with that. And the main of Gulf of Mexico is pretty above average at the moment, and the Caribbean is quite below average, but it's still pretty warm, between 26 to 27 degrees, as I'm going to show you in a second. So just between average to maybe slightly below average, especially towards the eastern Caribbean. If you look at the tropical Atlantic sea surface temperature anomalies, it's pretty below average, as I said, but between around like this kind of area in the tropical Atlantic, but towards the eastern side of the Atlantic, it's above average, and the temperatures between 24 25 degrees, and obviously towards the Caribbean, it's between 26 to 27 degrees as well. If you look at the Gulf of Mexico here, the Gulf of Mexico is warming up rapidly now, and you can see the Gulf Stream quite clearly here. So the Gulf Stream goes like around here like that, and then it curves around, and then it curves around towards the North and South Carolina, then it just goes out like that. So you can clearly see the Gulf Stream, and the main part of the Gulf of Mexico is between 25 26 degrees here. The coastline of the Gulf of Mexico is still it's still pretty cool, and some parts of it is below average, but the main Gulf of Mexico is starting to warm up nicely, and basically all of Gulf of Mexico looks like it's above average. And sorry guys, if I quickly look at the precipitation, yeah, for the concepts model, and if we look at July, August, and September, it does look pretty dry, but like we kind of see like that's what's going to happen, because it's really hard to forecast precipitation this far out. But then just really quickly, we could be looking at the CFS's precipitation. And funnily enough, towards the beginning of June, it looks like there could be some higher above average precipitation, but towards the Bahamas and the Florida Straits and the southern parts of Cuba, where the wind shear could be really favourable. So because these storms forming around the Western Caribbean. Okay guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it very informative. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications so you don't miss another upload. And we're just gonna have to see what happens with the wind shear, because the majority of like the models are starting to weaken the wind shear in like the next few weeks to the next few months. And if El Nino gets even weaker towards the end, so neutral, like what some of the models are showing, especially the Bureau of Meteorology in Australia is like saying it could start to weaken off towards the hurricane season. We can see the wind shear start to slacken off even more. So we're just gonna have to keep an eye on it, and it could get more interesting as we get towards June, July, and August, and September. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and I will be back with another update tomorrow.